Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are doing this look and it is using the new Jaclyn Cosmetics palette. It's using her new setting spray. It's using her new liquid lips. It's using her skin blurring tint, the concealer, luminous powder, highlight, blush, bronzer. We're trying it all. So if you want to see how I got this look, please stay tuned and let's get into the video. Okay, so to get started, all I have on right now is my skincare, and then for primer, I'm not going to completely unfold this, but this is the Cover FX gripping primer. I'm almost done with that. So I'm going to, some of this is first impressions and some of it I've used. I will let you know what that is. This is first impression. This is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Skin Perfecting Blurring Tint. I got mine in the shade Light. Jaclyn said that she can wear this even with a tan on, so I figured I could use this too because we're both fair and then we both like a good tan, so I thought this would work. I've got a little bit of a fake tan on left over, and this is actually some color from the sun, believe it or not, so has really pretty packaging. I'm sure most of this is not new to anyone else. It's not like I've known this has been around. I just got all this stuff at once here. Not all of it, most of it. Anyway, that's packaging. It does have a pump, and I'm going to be applying it with this Real Technique sponge. It's dampened. I didn't clean it, but it's damp. So this is a pretty good pea size amount. I know this isn't going to give a lot of coverage, if any, so we'll just kind of see where we're at with the skin. I may choose to go in with something else after, but I wanted to see what this looked like on its own first. So I know the sponge is going to sheer it out even more. It does look very light. I really wanted this for days when I didn't want to have to worry about a full face of makeup, but I wanted to even my skin out a little bit, and I also didn't want it to be something that if it were to sweat off or rub off, I didn't want it to be super noticeable. Okay, it's doing weird things to my nose. My nose does kind of take product weird, so maybe that's why. I'm going to try to rub it in. I would say that on days when I'm not really wanting to do like a full face of makeup, I probably wouldn't bother with a primer either, so I will try this without a primer too and let you guys know how that worked out, and I will try different application methods too. It seems like the more I try to mess with it, the more it's kind of getting weird on my skin, so I'm going to try to leave it alone. So it did provide coverage. I do think I'm looking a little more pale than I was before I put it on, so I don't know that this would actually work for me with a tan. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's glowy. It's still a little tacky, but again, that could be the primer. I know I like that primer, and I know how it works with other foundations. That's why I use the primer, because I typically use a primer. I very rarely do not put on a face primer before I go in with any sort of a foundation. So that's what that is looking like on my skin. Next, I'm going to apply the concealer. This is the Perfecting Concealer. I got mine in the shade Fair Light Peach. This is what the packaging looks like. The window, I don't have any lights on, but the window is kind of washing me out here. Anyway, this is another first impression. This is what shade looks like. Again, really nice packaging. I would expect nothing less. does have a doe foot. It doesn't have any added fragrance that I can tell. It just smells like, just has a makeup smell. I'm not going to go in with a corrector. I'm just going to go in, obviously, straight with a concealer. I'm going to put it on my under eyes first so I can let it sit while I do the rest of my face. I feel like if I let a product sit, it has a little bit more coverage than if I just went and blended it out right away. I don't mind if I don't have a bunch of coverage in the center of my face. It's mainly my under eyes that I'm trying to cover. This is just to balance the face out. That's why I put it in other places. Yeah, my nose is just, it doesn't, makeup sits on it really weird, so I'm going to try it without that primer for sure, because I think it's just making it stick, and then it's, when I'm going to blend it out, it's kind of pulling it off. So that's the concealer. The real test is going to be on my under eyes, because that's where I've got the darkness. And I do take my concealer on my lids. That's how I prime my eyes most of the time. Sometimes I'll use the Milani eyeshadow primer. So that really brightened my under eyes, for sure. It's been a while since I've watched a video talking about the tint in the concealer, so I don't remember how she said she likes to apply it. I just kind of, and I didn't want to re-watch it before I tried it. I didn't want it to change. Okay, I don't know that that's a concealer that I want to let sit like that, because it's kind of hard to blend out now. My phone is picking up more. It's like I said, it washes me out a little bit. In my mirror that I'm looking at in regular, whatever, I don't look as pale. And I'm happy with the coverage. So, again, very light coverage. Again, this is just first impressions for these things, so I don't want to judge it too harshly. I'm going to set my face like I normally would, and then I will go in with the Luminous loose powder. I'm just going to use the Jaclyn Cosmetics Luminous loose powder in the shade Do Me. This has been a favorite of mine since I got it. I'm going to use the e.l.f. small tapered brush. I did get a brush set when I made my last Ulta order for my birthday stuff, but I'll use that stuff in a separate video. I just want to keep this to Jaclyn stuff, and that's technically Morphe, so. I do like that powder underneath my eyes, so. But that everything's all personal preference, of course. And for highlight, I'm going to use her highlighter in Iced. This is just a mini size. I've used this several times in my videos. This is a ColourPop F05 highlighter brush. This is one of my all-time favorite highlighters. Okay, so there's that. We are looking very glazed today. Okay, this is going to be first impression. I know she's had these out for a while now. Hadn't had a chance to try them yet though. This is the Bronze and Blushing Duo I got mine in the shade Warm Flush and Golden Goddess. The packaging is very nice. It does have a really nice mirror. And then these are the shades. I think these are made in Italy, if I remember her speaking about these correctly. Yeah, made in Italy. So I'm just going to use my typical bronzer and blush brushes. The one I've been using lately is just from Wet n Wild for my bronzer, so I'm going to just go into the brown shade. I probably should have gone back and looked at Jaclyn's own swatches for these things because Ulta's website is terrible for trying to pick colors of anything, if they even put up swatches at all. So this is pigmented, it's just not as dark as I would prefer, but it's fine. Try again. It's blending out really nicely. My skin is still pretty tacky, so I'm not having any problem blending at all. It is providing a nice warmth to my skin. It's not like glittery or shimmery or anything like that. And then my blush brush is just the e.l.f. blush brush. It's a really pretty blush. This is a very, very pretty blush. I love blush. I put on a lot of blush and it looks like a lot of blush until I get the rest of my makeup on, and then it looks slightly less blushy. But that's just what I like. So there's the face products. I'm going to contour with my normal contouring product. And then we will move on to the eyes. I did get her eyeshadow palette, the one that she did in collaboration with her mom. I did use that on my birthday, if you can even hear me over the crinkling of packaging. And I was thoroughly impressed by it, so excited to try out something different today. Okay, I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer for my eyes. I haven't tried that before, so we'll try that today. No. Let me know if this is helpful for you, or if the distance I normally have it at is fine to do eyeshadow. This is the eyeshadow palette. It's a beautiful palette, and I think it's probably going to be my new favorite. And let me just show you the attention to detail. Like, there's a window in the protective cardboard on the, I don't know, I was just like, I would expect nothing less from her. I have loved every single thing that I have tried from her brand. All the stuff she's done from Morphe I have liked. I haven't tried every single thing, but everything I've tried I've really loved. And then this is what the outside of the packaging looks like, or the outside of the eyeshadow palette. It does not have a mirror, but I'm fine with that. I don't usually use the mirror that comes in a palette. So, and then this is what the palette looks like. The other day I used Biscuit to set my lid, and then I used Farm Girl in my crease. I used Puddin' Girl to deepen up the crease, and then I used Bad Mousy to deepen it up even more. And then on my lid I did a combo of Tootsie on my, like, the outer third a little bit, and then I did Family AF all over the rest of my lid. And I can't remember if I actually used either one of these. I think I used this one, French Silk. I think I used that one on my inner corners and my brow bone. I'm pretty sure. I know I swatched both, I just don't remember which one I used. So this is a really nice selection of shades. I'm not going to do swatches or anything. There are swatches all over the internet. You don't need to see them from me. I will say I love the mix of shades. There's not a ton of shimmer shades. There's only 5. 6. There's 6. I can count numbers. There's 6 shimmer shades. This one is kind of a satin. I'm sorry. This one here is kind of a satin. And this one has some sparkle in it, but you cannot see it when you actually use it on the eyes. So I love how light it goes. I love that there are different shades of really light tones. I love that there is a good mid-tone for just about any of the deeper tones in here. There's cool, there's neutral, there's warm. Like, it goes very light to very dark. I think her and her mom did a fantastic job on this palette. So I'm going to quit yammering on about it and actually use the thing. I may go smoky today with like the silver and stuff because I haven't done that in a long time. So I think that's what we're going to use today. I will tell you what, I will pop up a picture of the palette on the screen and I will circle the shades that I'm using instead of holding this up all the time. So that's how we're going to do that today. Okay, so to set the lids, I'm going to blend out any creases that I have, which I don't really have any, but I just want to make sure. This will also get off any excess product that's still sitting there. And then I will go in with the shade Biscuit, and this is just an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. I'm going to set my lids. This is not going to be a tutorial. I have a very in-depth tutorial already on my channel using different products, but like the application methods are the same. I use the same application methods no matter what I'm using, really. So I will link that down below if you want to check that out. I do have timestamps on there, so if you are only interested in one thing, you can just go right to that thing and get on out of there. Or if you want to watch the whole thing, I would also really appreciate it because I worked really hard on that video. And then I'm going to go ahead and start deepening up the crease. I'm going to go a little bit more cool toned, I think. Although sometimes I do like to, when I'm doing like a cool toned eye, I do like to add a little bit of warmth. I like the contrast. But we're going to go into Pink Tea Butter, and this is a Makeup Forever crease brush. And I'm just going to build up the color on both eyes, and then we'll just deepen it up some more until I'm happy with the depth. And then we'll add the metallic on the lids. I'm going to go in with a more pointed, smaller crease brush. And I'm going to dip into the shade So Ucky. Okay, and then even further, I'm going to go into the shade TC. Still, this is all the same brush. The reason I like this brush is because it's very pointed and it has a good taper, and it also has a good section to where I can pat things on the lid. I can really make a precision blend in my crease without it fluffing out too much. So that's why I really like the shape of this brush. It's from Glamour Dolls. It's just the one that I've been using. Anyway, and the reason I'm going in with so many shades that are pretty similar to one another, but a step down in depth every time. Smoky eye is very important, I feel, to have a nice blend. It's always important to have a nice blend, but especially with a smoky eye when you're doing really dark colors, I feel like it's even more important to make sure it's super blended. So anyway, going into the shade TC. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with an even smaller brush. And I'm going to go into the shade Buddy. And then same brush, and I'm going to go into the black shade because I said so. The darker I'm getting in shade, the more controlled and precise I am with my placement and my blending. So we started out and I was blending practically up into my eyebrow, and now I'm really focusing where I'm placing the shadow. I like to work in lighter layers, especially when I'm working with darker shades. You can always add more, but it's really hard to take away. Okay, so that is all for the matte shades on my lid for right now. I'm going to do a mix of all the colors that I used on my upper lid. I'm going to do them on my lower lash line, just with the same tiny brush that I've been working with. It's all the matte shades. I may still go in and add a little bit more warmth once I'm done. And then for the lids, I'm going to go in with Thankful. This is one of my favorite brushes to go in with a metallic or a foiled shade of my lid. It's just from Wet n Wild. You can find it at the Dollar Tree a lot of the times. I don't know if they still make this brush like for sale at Ulta or anything. And I don't think you need a glitter primer or anything for these, but I use this almost all the time anyway, so I'm going to go in with the NYX Glitter Primer. Just a teeny tiny bit is all that you need. I prefer this over wetting my brush with a setting spray. Teeny tiny bit, that's all you need per lid. And I'm going to keep this on the inner, probably 2/3 of my eye. And I do one eye at a time. I'm going to add a teeny little bit more. I'm not doing a cut crease, I'm just kind of like that. Okay, and then I'm going to deepen up my crease a little bit. This is something I typically do once I've gone in with a foiled shade or whatever on my lid, because I usually end up covering up some of the darkness, so I like to go back and reinforce it. I'm just mixing because I said so in Buddy. And I'm going to go back in with our fluffy crease brush and add a little bit of warmth. I'm going to go in with Farm Girl first and see where that gets us. And then I think I'll go in with Puddin' Girl too. I really like the mix of warm and cool shades. I think it's neat, so. I'm going to go in with the more precise crease brush and into Puddin' Girl. Just kind of deepen this up a little bit. I wasn't sure where I wanted to go with the look. That's why I didn't do this from the beginning. I wanted to add it if I wanted to, but I didn't want to commit to the change. Okay, so there's that. Going to reinforce the depth again, just with Buddy. Okay, so there is the eyeshadow done, except for the inner corner and brow bone highlight, but I will do that after I do my eyebrows. I'm gonna turn my light on and look and see about fallout here. There's very little fallout. I just see a few little darker specks on my cheeks. So I'm going to take the small tapered brush that I used before and just gently dust that away. I will say that the concealer is kind of sitting weird in some places. Like up close, if you look up close. Normally if I was going to do a really smoky eye, I would not do this light of a coverage of foundation and concealer. But I just wanted to use all of her products together since I got them. So it'll all come together once we do the brows and the lashes and everything. So I'm going to do my brows in liner and all of that stuff, and then we will do the setting spray and I'll put on some lashes and then we'll do the lips. So I'm not gonna like show you all of that. I'm just gonna do it and come back. Okay, so the rest of the face is done. All we have left is the setting spray and the lip products. This is not a first impression. I did try this over the weekend. The spray is beautiful. It gives a really nice dewy finish to the skin. I don't typically have a problem with my makeup lasting all day, but I didn't notice anything for the worse when I wore this at all. So packaging, it's just a spray. Typically I do not put my setting spray on after I've done my liner and my lashes, but for the sake of the video that's what we're doing today, so that's what we're doing. It has a very fine mist. It hasn't been like spitting at me or any giant droplets or anything. It does have a scent. It's lavender and lavender oil. It says there's a fragrance aside from that. And there's also peppermint oil. So those are like the smells. It's kind of, I don't know. It's not overpowering. I've like the MAC Fix Plus, the lavender one, that was overpowering. I did not appreciate that at all. This is just nice. It's not too much, and it doesn't stick around, like the scent doesn't stick around or anything. So anyway, this is the completed like face look, and then I did get 3 lip products. I have not tried her lip liners. I know everybody raves about them, and maybe one day I will try them. I have enough lip liners right now. I feel like it's a pretty rounded out variety of lip liner for me, and I didn't want to spend the money on the lip liner, but maybe one day I will. Anyway, these are the 3 shades that I got. One of them is from her collab with her mom. It's in the shade Hope. It's a very pale, cool toned pink, and I really, really like it. The other 2 are from like her regular line. One is from the, oh gosh, the Bolds or something. I can't remember, but this is a bitch. No, yes bitch. Yes bitch. And then the other one is the shade Mama. I have used Mama and Hope. I used those over the weekend. They're very pretty, and that's probably what I'm going to put on my lips right now. I will swatch the other, I'll swatch them all in my hand. I'm not going to do a lip swatch video right now, or I'm not gonna swatch them on my lips. I'm just not. So this is the shade, I've already forgotten. Yes, bitch. It's a neon pink. I love her lip formula. I've tried several of them at this point. Love them all. This is in the shade Hope. And then this one is in the shade Mama. It's not super warm, but it's definitely not as cool toned. So those are the 3 shades that I got this time. I'm gonna just do Hope today. I'll go in with a lip liner, and then I will use Hope as my main lip color today. But so yes, B, Hope, and Mama. Those are the shades that I got this time. The lip liner I'm gonna use is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. And I don't take the foundation off my lips most of the time, and so I'm not gonna do it today either. There's no need to go in and completely fill in my top lip if I just do that. Less product means it's not going to get all weird on you later. Okay, so again, this is the shade in Hope. And I'm just going to apply that mainly in the center and then kind of blend it out with my finger. These have a very light, like vanilla cupcakey scent, but it's very light. So if fragrance bothers you, I don't know that would. And then occasionally I will go back in and reinforce the lip line. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so that completes the first impression haul try on of the Jaclyn Cosmetics, her new eyeshadow palette in collaboration with her mom, some of her new liquid lips, her face products, the complexion, the blurring skin tint, the concealer, setting spray, her baked blush and bronzer, and then like I said, the eyeshadow palette. I did not try the eyeliners either. I don't use eyeliner that often, and I already have one that I know that I like that is much more affordable. I'm sure they're wonderful eyeliners, and maybe one day I will try them. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. Maybe I can try that for you one day. But anyway, if you want to know how I did any of the other parts of my face, it's pretty much the same as I always do. And like I said, I do have a very in-depth tutorial with timestamps, so you can just go to whatever part you have a question about. If I didn't answer it, ask me below, and I will do my very best to help you with that. Not a professional, I'm sure that's very obvious, but I'm not a professional. I just want to make that abundantly clear. I just love makeup, and I like sharing makeup with you. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later.